Okay, thank you. All right, so this is Dre Tattoo Spread Podcast with Jolene from It Goes Down in the PM. Jolene, what's going
Hey,
on?
what up, what up, what
With
up?
her
How
fuck
are
you,
you?
with her fuck you, fucking fuck you.
Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
Yeah. All right, well, she said a lot on that one. All right, yeah. And
Hey,
then I got my
if
little
you,
piercing.
what
So
do you got?
I got the Uncle Crowley's body piercing. So anybody that likes body piercing, you know what I'm talking about.
Yay.
Yeah, I seen. Speaking of body piercing, I want to tell you a little story about body piercing that I got done. Not recently, but this is like years ago. I was living in Pennsylvania, and I was getting tattooed like always. Yeah, so like every every other day I was getting tattooed. But my friend came to visit, and so he was getting tattooed, and I'm like, all right, so when am I going to go? And he goes, well, we're not going to make time. And then the piercer guy turns around, and he goes, you want to get pierced? And I was like, okay, whatever, fuck it, let's go. and I got and I got pierced like in the chest, like right here, and,
Oh my god.
and it was like a cluster, you know. So it was like you seen Iron Man, and
Uh-huh.
so Iron Man has
Yeah.
that round thing in his chest and all that. So I had this cluster going on my chest. I looked like Iron Man, like that round thing in my chest and shit. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. Then all of a sudden after I got home and it's been like maybe I don't know 3 or 4 weeks. All of a sudden I'm like shaving and everything else. I hear ting 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 ting, and like 2 or 3 of them fell out of my chest and landed in the we call it like the sink and all that. I'm like, ah, shit, really? Is yeah. So it was cool though, but we could, I'm like after it all fell out, I'm like, let me just get my whole tattooed, my chest tattooed instead, just to cover up the dots and all that shit. So
Oh wow.
so that was an experience. Yeah.
I see. I like tattoos a lot. I used to have piercings too.
Yeah.
Like I had two ear holes here. I had I've had a tongue piercing, snake bite on my tongue,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I had like a tongue piercing, snake bite, hood piercing. I was gonna get the dimple piercing,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
after a while, I mean, man, three babies later, babies grab on stuff. I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I even had the two of my ear holes gauged.
Yeah.
I had a gauge it whole. I had it to like 0,
Yeah.
and I was gonna go double 0, and then I was after a while, I was like, for what, man? I'm 30, fine. I'm about to, I'm at the tail end of my 30s. I'm super. It's a lot to maintain and stretch and do a whole. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm good. No, you do it to be different and quirky, but when you hit 30, fine, bruh, I just want to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Mind my like, mind your business, like I'm minding my business, and we will be fine.
I know. I say that every time. I'm like, listen, policeman, leave me alone. Yeah. They're like, listen,
I'm
sir, we.
telling you, I'm sorry. Like, is I don't want you to get demonetized. Is there a certain amount of f bombs that I could use, or are we
Don't
going
worry about
no
it.
f bombs?
I doesn't matter to me. I don't care because we could. I go and put this on there as long as I don't have music, because that's what happens. And I didn't know about the whole music thing. So if I use music from people that are famous, then they're like, oh, you're gonna get a check mark, or you're gonna get this, or you're gonna get that. And I got 2 of them on there. Yeah, I know. But I had 2 of them on there, and I'm like, all right, I just do my own music kind of thing. So thank God my girlfriend knew some in and outs of editing and everything else, and she used computer stuff. I even did my own little music thing. So
I actually hired someone to do it. Her name's Slizzard.
Yeah.
Or Liz Fawcett, she has a very reasonable price. She's got a very reasonable price. She's doing a really dope job.
Yeah.
And when she's finished, you'll see the season 3 premiere is gonna feature a song that she wrote for my show.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Nice. I mean,
Yeah, I told her you gotta have the line fighting the patriarchy. That it's 1 o'clock and we're fighting the patriarchy one fuck you at a time.
yeah. Like fuck this and see you later. Bye bye.
Yeah, because it's all about it goes down in the PMs all about fighting the patriarchy's need for women to exist quietly.
yeah.
We're not acting like ladies, basically. I'm not acting like a lady. I've been on record saying, like, I'm the CEO of my own company.
Yeah.
Don't call me a CEO or a lady boss or a boss bitch. Don't call me that.
Yeah.
I'm just the boss. I'm just a CEO. I don't need a special qualifier because I am equal. I am a CEO just like a male CEO.
Yeah.
You don't call men HEOs, you call them CEOs. And
Yeah.
I earned it. I
True.
tell them I earned it.
Damn straight. Damn Skippy. So yeah, because I want to try to do that myself. I want to have my own company wise, and I started this like I don't know, like everybody else I think started theirs like maybe a year ago, even when the pandemic went, you know, and other people have been doing it for like 8 9 years prior to that, so I'm like, this I want to do because I apparently I talk too much, and I and I like I wanted to be a
Nothing
defense, you know.
nothing wrong with that, man.
No, no, I
Not a
didn't see anything wrong with
single
it.
thing wrong with that.
It was like because I always want to be like like I seen DJs, and they're on like like radio stations. I want to do that, heavy metal. I was like, all right, cool, I can do that. But they're like, oh, you gotta come to the city. I'm like, oh, I don't want to fucking drive to the city. I'm like, nah. I want to do something that's on Long Island so I can just be able to go there and come home and I don't have to go on no train and shit. I'm like, nah. So, but then,
Hey, look, we're cutting tape on a radio station. I could use a DJ for a shift. But I mean, like, we're just starting out. I would need some sponsors and stuff.
yeah,
But if you just want to get your name out there and play some music, let me know.
yeah, definitely. Do I have to come out to LA?
No, you do it from the comfort of your own home.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I thought it was like more travel
Nah,
wise.
you could do it from the comfort of your own home because look, because of the pandemic, everything became virtual.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'll
true.
be cutting tape on this radio station. I'm looking for unsigned artists for our unsigned segment. You know, unsigned unsigned is basically where all the unsigned artists send me stuff that they want to get played on the radio,
Yeah.
and then I play it, and if someone wants to sign them, hear them on the radio and wants to sign them,
Oh yeah, yeah.
they would contact the station to get the information.
Nice, nice. Because I like the. Uh, oh, okay. So let's talk about music wise. What kind of music do you prefer, or what you listen to, or
I have very eclectic tastes. uh I feel like the 90s was the golden age of hip hop.
Mhm,
So I obviously, I'm from the East Coast. Obviously, Big Pun is in my playlist, Biggie
mhm.
Smalls, uh, Rakim, Wu Tang is, yeah, Rakim, Wu Tang, Jay Z, Nas. Oh, but I got love for the West Coast too, like West Side Connect. I like Ice Cube. He's in my playlist. Um, Oh, a newer artist, which is unusual because usually I really hate today's hip hop, but a newer artist, some of the newer artists, I'll say like someone there's an up and coming called Snow the Product.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, she's dope.
yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah. Yeah, was it Honey? No, was it forgot the name of the song. But she did one for Queen of the South.
uh I don't remember because I moved here in 2018
Yeah.
and that's when I heard her music. Basically, she was getting a ghetto Grammy out here in the parking lot. And I was like, "Oh, that's dope. Who's that?" And they were like, "Yo, that's Know the Product, fool." I was
Yeah.
like,
Who?
"Okay." I
Yeah.
was like, "All right,
Yeah, I've heard of
whatever."
her. I was watching actually I was going through YouTube and then I was like I seen Queen of the South, which is like a TV show, and they had Snow the Product doing like something oh actually I'm sorry. No, yeah, I was watching wrestling and they had a commercial for Queen of the South and then they showed the video for Queen of the South. So which was Snow the Product. I can't remember what the name of the song was, but she was just singing like putting out those fucking bars out. I was like, holy shit, yeah,
Yeah, like she went on that her song "Waste of Time," then "Bilingue." I
yeah.
was like, "Yo, oh my god, go ahead." Yeah. Oh, J. Cole. I fucks with J. Cole heavy, and then Kendrick Lamar.
Mhm. All right.
So some of the newer stuff, but also I will bump the hell out of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Yeah.
Some classic rock and roll and metal. I like Disturbed. I
Yeah, I like
play
the
I
old
play
ones better.
Carry On My Wayward Son on full blast going down a desert highway.
Supernatural.
Every time Yeah, every time I hit the road, the first thing when I go on a road trip, I play I play Carry On My Wayward Son. It's like a tradition. I have to play it.
Yeah.
I play the Bad Reputation first when I
Mhm.
get first set out, Carry On My Wayward Son. Then when I get to the desert out here, Nevada, New Mexico,
Yeah.
Arizona, when I get to the desert, I play Hotel California.
Nice. Yeah, we call it. I always listen to. Well, I listen to everything, but when I was younger, when I started growing up, me and my brother would listen to like metal like Slayer, Molly Crew, whatever, whatever comes to mind and everything else. But my brother was, you know,
Slayer is dope. They go
eh,
hard. They go hard. I
uh,
remember Hatebreed came out to Toads in New Haven
yeah,
back home. Yeah, Hatebreed came out to Toads, and I snuck in to Toad's place as a teen. And I mean, I would have got away with, I would have seen the entire show, but when the band took a break, I tried to go up and like get an
autograph.
autograph. And
Yeah, yeah.
this dude was like, "Get this fucking kid out of here."
It's, I saw. Do you know the band Down? You ever heard of the band Down?
Band down?
No, no, no. Just the band. The band's name is Down. Down. So
No.
it's like a super group. So it has two guys from Pantera. They had a guy from Corrosion of Conformity, uh,
Get the
and then there was another guy from Crowbar, and I think there was another guy. Well, the guy's a drummer. The drummer he helps out these guys anyway. So he's in mostly every band. But then there was also Super Joint Ritual, you know, and they joined together. So you had Phil Ensemble, you had Rex Brown from Pantera, Phil Ensemble from Pantera, Pepper Keen from Corrosion of Conformity, Kirk Weinstein from Crowbar, and Jimmy Nolan, we call it, from Certain Over Band and all that. I saw those guys live at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and that shit was awesome from what I
Oh,
remember. From what I remember, because I was working in a bakery, not a small bakery, but like Entenmann's. I mean, I could drop the name because we call it Entenmann's. It's like in another state, so I don't even give a shit. Um, so my foreman, he's like, "Oh, I know these people and these people, these people." I'm like, "Oh my god, this guy's blowing smoke up our asses." I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "All right, fine, you know him." And then he's like, "Oh, we're gonna go see him." I'm like, "All right, whatever. You pay for the tickets, we'll go," and that's it. And I was shocked because we had VIP seatings. We sat on like one side of the stage, and then the other stage they were playing, so we're watching right there instead of being in the pit. And then we got backstage. We're in the dressing room, and then we went on the tour bus. So I was like, I was flying high on cloud nine on that one. I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome.
oh my God.
Not to mention, they had a whole bunch of beer, which I love, and they had a whole bunch of food, which I love. But then they were passing around a pipe. And my foreman at the time, he dabbled in a little bit of the snow, if you know what I mean. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So this pipe kept on going around, and I'm like, I'm drunk as hell, and I'm like, hey, all right, fine, I'll try it out. And it's not peer pressure. I'm like, I'll try it. So I do that whole thing, and the foreman looked at me. He goes, "You don't know what the hell is in that." And I'm like, "This coming from a guy that did a line of coke before, we got here. Hello, yeah." So
Oh my God. So let me. Okay. So was it a woo pipe?
I honestly, it's been years, and I don't remember what kind of pipe. I just know it was a pipe. So it
No.
was,
A woo is when you have it sprinkled. Where you have your grass sprinkled with the snow.
yeah. I don't know, but I tell you one thing. We called it. It was cool. It was good, and I drank, and then we got to Penn Station. So, and I'm sitting on the step, and I'm looking at my foreman. I'm like, so when we're getting to Penn Station? And he goes, "Motherfucker, we're in Penn Station." He goes, "I told you not to smoke that pipe." I was
Oh
like, I was
shit.
like, oh man,
Oh, just to clarify for your listeners and mine,
yeah,
at no point in time do I condone, nor have I ever done anything harder than weed,
yeah,
ever. And it's always that pure homegrown sticky, that good shit, never added. One time my brother passed me a woo blunt. I knew something was up
yeah,
because my lips went numb when I touch it, and then I didn't puff it.
yeah.
Well, like I did that, and I was like, what the hell did you just? He's like, oh, my bad. And I was like, motherfucker, I should punch you in your mouth. And I passed. I didn't.
Yeah,
There was no puff puff, just straight up pass, and that's cool. You
yeah,
guys always do what you're comfortable doing, and never what you feel like forced into doing.
yeah. I wasn't really like forced into it because I just went with the flow. And
Yeah,
it's like that movie Almost Famous.
yeah,
Like the kid goes on tour with the band, and he's partaking in the activities, and he felt a little weird, but I'm like, hey, it's part of the thing growing up, and for me it is.
yes. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, it's like the thing going on, So I was like, and then I somehow I got home. I don't know how, but I got a signature. I got autographs, and it was all good. And then I met up with those guys again, like maybe 2 years later. And funny story, which I don't know if Kirk Weinstein's gonna listen to this, but me and him trade numbers. So I was like, listen, if you want to talk about shit on the road or whatever, just let me know and call me up or whatever. New Year's Eve, I was at a bar where my brother-in-law was working, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I got my phone on the bar table. Phone rings and there it is, Kurt Weinstein from Crowbars calling my phone. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm like, "Dude, what's up?" He goes, "What, you calling me?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, you called me." I'm like, "Happy fucking New Year to you too," you know. And he's like, "Dude, I didn't know I was calling you." I'm like, "Okay, you did." And he goes, "All right, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye." I'm like, "The fuck?" And then my brother-in-law is like, he goes, "Who was that?" I'm like, "It's a guy that I know from the bands and all that." And he's like, "Cool, shot, okay." You know, so it was just like it was crazy. And then we were playing like Bones and and dominoes and shit like that. I was like, it's a life. Now I don't even drink anymore, so we call it's like the sober time.
Sober time is okay time.
Yeah, yeah,
It's good. It's good time to get clarity and stuff like that. I mean, I taste wine and whatnot, but
yeah,
I don't really drink heavily anymore. I don't smoke pot anymore.
yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I think, well, the reason why I don't drink anymore because I went to the doctor and the doctor's like, "All right, well, your heartbeat is all over the fucking place." I was
Yee.
like, "The fuck you talking about?" And it's like, "Well, you're gonna have to." So they shocked my system like 3 or 4 times, and it was just like an up and down roller coaster ride. And I'm like, then I had to take blood thinner this and do this and then that. I'm like, all right, whatever. So to the point where they said, well, if you drink any more, then your heart's gonna be all over the place again. So I'm like, all right, and that was like 4 years ago. So
Yeah, I love a good whiskey and I love a good wine.
yeah,
Um, in my 20s, I did my fair share of partying. I was in the military. You know what I mean? I drank around the world. I drank with all my friends. But by the time I got back and really had to deal with the deployment issues and stuff, um, the VA, like, God bless them, they are trying. They were not much help. They want to throw. They always try and throw pills at you. Throw
yeah,
pills.
yeah,
Can't sleep, trazodone. Freaking out. Here's Xanax. But they never really have time or the resources to really help their veterans or get to the source of the issue. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah,
So, you know, after a while, like, I couldn't take Xanax. Like, I was microdosed and I was a drooling mess. I couldn't get out of bed. Trazodone, it's like I was having nightmares, but then I knew I was having nightmares, and then it was like I couldn't wake up from my nightmare.
yeah,
And that was pretty awful. Um, the only time I really kind of felt okay was, like I smoked a little bit of weed and I felt somewhat normal. I think weed has legit medicinal value that, we really haven't explored yet.
yeah,
But when they gave me my service animal, my dog Riley,
yeah,
like I was a little bit more functional. They get, he's medical alert, when I'm getting ready to like freak out and not know where I am, like he comes up real close and just kind of like just to let me know that I'm not alone. When
yeah,
I've dissociated or I'm on the floor, he stays close to me so I don't fall down and hurt myself. And then when we're in the store and there's people, he stands right in front of me or right next to my leg. And when I'm falling asleep, if I start to have a nightmare, he wake me up.
yeah. Yeah, for me, I'm like I always had. Well, I wasn't in the service, but everybody has nightmares, and I know I always have like some kind. I always have weird fucking nightmares. I don't know what, but to me, I can always kind of control. my nightmares. And the reason I say this, and I'm not laughing about that because I'm laughing at what made me think of controlling it. I was watching GI Joe on the cartoon, the GI Joe cartoon,
Mhm.
and an episode where one of the guys was had these nightmares for years, and he just learned how to control them. So I was like, if that, I mean, I know it was a cartoon, but I'm like, hey, I'll try that out. And I've been doing that. I don't really wake up as in a cold sweat. I don't freak. I mean, I'm not saying I don't freak out, but I don't like scream when I wake up. And when I watch horror movies, I can pretty much sleep like a baby, no problem. And
Oh, that's cool.
you know,
Last time I had a nightmare, my husband woke me up because I was screaming, and it was I dreamt that I was being followed, and then I turned around to face him, and I said, "The fuck do you want with me?" and
yeah,
then and then they were like, they had no faces. They were like, yeah, I don't know if you've seen Princess Mononoke, the fire, the forest spirits. That's what their faces look like.
oh, okay, yeah,
And then I was like, leave me alone. I was like, I have to go. I have to get back to the ship.
yeah,
If you delay me, I'm gonna miss ship's movement. And then I'm running and I'm running. And then I get to the ship, I'm standing watch, and then next thing you know, they're there, off just off the on the shore.
yeah,
And I'm just like, well, whatever, fuck them. I made the ship. I made it to the ship. They can't come on the ship. And
yeah,
then at that moment, a person comes on the ship and they try and gain access to the ship. And then when I don't let them on the ship, they attack me. And next thing you know, I'm like fighting them, and I'm like, we're wrestling. I try and shoot them, and I'm just all over the place. And you ever have those dreams where you fight and like you hit them, but nothing happens? Like they just
yeah,
eat it like it was nothing.
yeah,
I like hit this dude. I pistol whipped him. I shot him, and he was like a full on fucking slasher. And next thing you know, I'm fighting and I'm screaming, and then my husband looks at, babe, babe, oh, you're screaming. Wake up. It's
yeah,
okay. You're
yeah.
home. You're home. You're safe. You're home.
Yeah, I was like that's great. I mean, I never really had that, but that sounds like tremendous the way just first just screaming and all that because my girlfriend, I think, well, she didn't really scream, but she started punching me like she's trying to get away from somebody, and like, and she's going like this. So I'm like sleeping, all of a sudden I feeling like on my shoulder going like, and I'm like, whoa, honey, what the fuck you doing? I'm like, it's me. She goes, oh, oh, because I mean, I'm not saying I can scare her, but when I try to go to bed and she's asleep already, she gets startled like very easily. So like she's like, oh, and then but with that whole thing, and I'm like, you all right? What happened? And she explained that somebody was going, after her, and then she's trying to punch him and get away, and then that was it. But she was like saying that she was sleeping, and and then she looked at the foot of the bed, and there's like this anime kind of figure. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, you don't watch anime. How you know it's an anime figure?
I'm telling you, anime have people out here having nightmares.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I want to hear
Well,
that. Like, what the hell?
usually my military nightmares always have something to do with someone coming on the ship that's not supposed to be there,
Yeah.
me missing ship's movement, or someone going overboard. One time I dreamt I was floating in a casket in the middle of the ocean, and that freaked me out.
Wow. That would freak me out too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because Well, I speaking of casket wise, this is a fun story that I'm gonna say because it's not uh doesn't deal like death wise, but there was do you like haunted attractions like Halloween? You like
Yes, yes. I love Halloween.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
the more haunted, the better.
Yeah, yeah. So my friends they run a thing called Keys Love Jewelry. You know where they have the knives, swords on one side and everything else, and then jewelry of everything. So I don't know if you see like the bracelets and and all that and the rings. We call it sell all that stuff. So we were at a haunt fair at a hotel, like in the basement of the hotel, and it was so fucking cool. It was just like you had everybody from like Ghostbusters to paranormal, um, investigators. There's like a priest that walks around with like red eyes and fingertips, and he calls himself Father Evil. And I'm like, I got pictures of this guy, me and him, and I'm like, "Hello, Father," and he's like, "Sinner," and I'm like, "He knows." I'm like, "Oh, geez." So
He knows me.
yeah. And then I wore my clown mask, and then I was like, we took a picture together, and it was cool. I was like, wow. But they had this coffin like off to the side, and basically you can be able to lay in the coffin and make it feel like you are getting buried alive. But it's like more fun wise. They had the eerie sounds and all that. So I
Oh,
tried it, and it was really good. It was like I was like, oh, that was nothing. And then my friend's like, well, wait till you get it for real. I'm like, no, I'm getting what's the thing that they burn you up in your ashes.
oh, cremate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just doing cremation. That's it. I'm not gonna be an old damn box, because if I become a zombie, I don't want to be rising up. Yeah.
I just, I just don't want to get eaten by some. I don't want to get eaten.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be the person that comes down and starts eating people. And I'm like, I don't want that in my
Yeah,
conscience.
and then like like worms and bugs and stuff get in there. Like I don't want my body to be eaten.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I like to be free, you know. And
I was a warrior. I want to be honored like one, like either have
and
like a gunslinger funeral or a Viking funeral or something, or a pirate funeral.
the Viking funeral. I love that one. We call it just go out by the lake and then they put you on fire and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you push out your little barge and then they light you. And
Yeah, I mean, I like camping, so everybody can do a campground thing and just have me out there, and they can just party on and do
yep,
what has to get done. That's it. Have music playing.
have
There
a
you
big
go.
old bonfire and get her done.
Yeah, get it, get her done, get her done. But it had So let's get to your book that you're gonna.
Yes.
You got a book coming out. It's a Cyber Monday, which is like in November. Um, and myself, I know you sent me like a prologue. My girlfriend read it. I haven't. I honestly, I'm like upset that I have not read it yet, but I will because I've been running around doing a lot of shit, and that's no excuse. I know, but I will.
So it's okay, man. I'm not the friend that says, "Hey, read part of my book. It's not done yet." I mean, I will do some R&D and be like, "Okay, here's the part that I've been doing. Here's a
Yeah,
questionnaire." But I'm not the friend that like, "Oh, I did this. Read this. Read
yeah,
this. Read this. Listen to my podcast."
yeah, yeah. I mean, but my girlfriend, she read it. She loves it, and she's like, it's awesome. She loves it. She's like, I can't wait for the book to come out so she can read. She loves reading like a shitload of books.
That's
So
awesome.
this would be like right in her wheelhouse. I read books too, so I'm like more of the uh like the horror kind of thing or suspense and all that. So I mean, but tell us about what your book is entailed.
So my book is kind of it's my subtle political statement about civic duty.
Mm,
It is it is a dystopian historical fiction about what can happen when you continuously ignore your government.
mm,
And so the main character, you got Cassius and you got Caritas, his son.
mm,
Now Caritas, I don't want to spoil it, but they work together because what's happening is people are immigrating to a fictional city called Portunitas
mm,
from their from Patrium. And originally, when before things got bad, they were getting flyers.
yeah.
Oh, Portunitas needs doctors. But see, they have med pods and stuff like that. So doctors are some of the lowest paid unnecessary people because people got med pods. But if they don't, if they can't afford a med pod, that's when you would get a doctor. But then, they wouldn't pay them that much.
Yeah.
So they start sending out flyers recruiting doctors. Doctors will bring their families, and
Hello?
they promise the transplants
Yeah.
non-native citizenship to Portunitas. They
Okay.
said, if you come here and you're a doctor for us, we'll give you non-native citizenship. And then, or if they have a child while they're in Portunitas serving as a doctor, then the whole family automatically gets non-native citizenship.
Mm.
So they started calling the transplants children the children of the trees
Oh, okay. Okay.
because it allows them to set down roots. Now the next person that comes up, um the next president comes up, and next thing you know, there's several laws that get passed outlawing. It says that they're no longer allowed to non-native citizens are no longer allowed to have children in Portunitas.
Yeah.
And then what happens is the riot control police and then the reclamation team, if someone reports a baby being born to a transplant, they come in full force. They take the baby and then they kill the parents, or they deport the parents back to Patreon.
Hmm.
And then the children grow up in a prison that's, where the babies are being raised by older babies. And then it's all about Cassius's son gets taken from him.
Hmm.
And then this is his journey to go get him, free him. And then, but here's the thing, Cassius, so much time goes by that by the time Cassius finds his son, the son's all grown up.
Yeah.
So then they reconnect, and then they start working together to free what they call the children of the trees.
Okay.
So
Ah,
they go around and they start looking for the facilities where the kids are being held so that they can free them. And then like a whole war is fought over the children
yeah.
because they want their children. They're just say like, they even at some point they try and make a deal with the president. Listen, just tell us where our children are and we will go. We just want our children. And the president basically tells them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And then how far would you go for your child?
To the ends of the earth. If I have a kid, then yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah. I got
Yeah,
nieces and nephews. I mean, I would do anything for my niece and nephews.
yeah.
So,
So this entire community just bands together, and this is when like the children turn a community into an army, who then goes to fight and find these children. And at one point, the first facility where they're liberated,
Hmm.
they find a child that doesn't speak the language of Partunitas or Patrium. Kind of find out that he was taken from an outlier, and he's actually indigenous,
Hmm.
and he keeps asking, where's my tribe? And then they were like, no, and that's where the name of the book comes. Be like, we're the children of the trees, we're your tribe. We are your tribe now. Your parents are gone, your tribe's gone, we're your tribe. This is the tribe of the trees.
All right, very good. Yeah, because I can be able to. I'm going to wait until like Cyber Monday to get that. I want to going to get a book for her, get a book for me, and I want to go and read that one. Because it's been a while since I read books, and I used to get head into the whole thing. This one, it sounds like I'm going to get really into this one. So
It'll make you laugh and cry, and it's got characters you love and hate.
yeah, it has like everything. We call it that. Like pretty much anything that has like characters that you gonna love and hate. Yeah. So, and speaking of characters, what movies do you prefer watching, or have you been watching like anything like on Netflix or?
I've been on a slasher kick lately, so I watched Fear Street. Before that, I mean, my top five favorite movies is like number one, The Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
Number two,
obviously.
yeah, number two is like Godfather. Number three is Casino.
Yeah.
And then number four is Practical Magic. And number five is The Notebook.
Oh, Practical Magic. I forgot about that one. That one's I forgot. I mean, who was in that? That was crap. I'm not good with names now. I can't remember. Not Michelle Pfeiffer. Well, yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
It's Sandra Bullock, and it's Sandra Bullock and oh my gosh, what is her name?
But Michelle Pfeiffer, I think, right?
No, no, no. Uh, oh my gosh, it is the Australian lady that was married to Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Oh my
Nicole Kidman.
gosh.
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just couldn't think of the name at all. Oh, sorry. My hands all in the way, like.
It's like, hey, I'm touching your face. I'm touching your face. But yeah, mine is like, I saw, me and my girlfriend saw the first Fear Street, the second one, and we're gonna watch the third one. We were supposed to watch it this weekend, but a lot of things been going up and around. So, what do you think about Fear Street?
I loved it. It went back to the classic slasher,
Yes.
the slasher formula, I guess. But I don't know. I liked one and I liked three. Number two was like, man, for me.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen 3 yet, so that one's gonna be next. I think hopefully during the week we're gonna watch it. But
I really like three. I
yeah,
think out of all of them, well, no, one has the slasher thing that I love,
yeah,
where the slasher's always chasing. But then I really like number three too, also
yeah,
because it provided the twist.
yeah. It's like an M. Shyamalan kind of thing. It's like, what a twist.
Always with the twist,
But
man.
the reason I like one, I mean, I like two as well. I mean, it was, mellow, but it had its moments. And But then we called it. We're watching one, and that bread slicer. I
Yeah, the bread
was
slice death was epic.
I was like, wow. Now, I mean, my girlfriend's gonna be fucking pissed. I'm saying this, but because I mentioned this once before, I was talking to Josh Roberts on the last Zoom, and we're talking about horror movies as well. And I'm like, yeah, I was watching this, and my girlfriend has a tendency to be kind of scared a little bit, so she has her blanket of protection. So it came on, and we saw the whole thing, and and so she's like, the hair was like getting caught like on the bread slicer, and all of a sudden she's like, oh, this is not gonna be good. Oh, no, 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 no. And I started laughing because I know she's gonna go into that whole like bring the blanket up like protection wise. And then her favorite phrase is like mother of pearl. So she's screaming it like mother of pearl. And I'm like, and I'm smiling because I'm smiling at her about what she's doing. And she goes, how are you smiling at this? I'm like, I'm not. I'm smiling at you because you're going over the edge.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I mean, it was like I don't want to say that she's scared because she watches like horror movies, but like when she was younger, now I'm like I watch horror movies like all the time. I mean, I've watched.
Well, let's just be honest. We all have that one horror movie that scared the bejesus out of you.
Yeah,
Like Candyman, I watched Candyman even though my parents wouldn't let me. I
yeah.
stayed up after they went to bed, popped that bad boy in and watched it in the middle of the night. And I did not want to go to the bathroom by myself for the longest time. I
Yeah,
refuse. Ever since I saw Candyman come out of the mirror and just start murking folks, I was like, no, no.
yeah. Mine is Cujo.
Cujo?
Yeah, I swear when I was younger, I was watching Cujo, and I'm a dog lover. I'm a dog. I like cats. I like dogs. Dog lovers are like my thing. I'm a dog thing, and just seeing like the dog coming and attacking you, and being blinded and just attacking you, and then you have to fight your way through. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, that's my downfall, my dog and everything else. I'm like, I just couldn't go through. I started watching it and I couldn't go through the whole movie. I mean, now I probably could, but I really haven't got the issue of
But as someone who reads a lot, I will say Stephen King has that thing.
oh yeah, yeah,
He
definitely.
he has that something that'll make you scared.
Speaking of Stephen King, let me give you this not scenario, but so you got it, from the miniseries, right? And then you got
Yeah.
the movies that it one and it two, like the newer it. Which one is your favorite?
None. I hate clowns. I cannot. I do not like clowns or gnomes. I hate them both.
uh,
But okay, so the newer it, I have to say, is scarier. I like the newer it because in the, but at the same time, I'm like, let me find out this alien, like, will come and kill everybody. But as soon as you start talking shit to it, it just gets smaller. Like, yo, fuck you, you're ugly, your hair sucks, you stink,
yeah, they come
your
and just
dick's
stand up
little,
to
you're
it.
an asshole. And
Yeah,
like, let me find out that it is defeated by bullying.
yeah,
Like you just got to bully him and then you'll be all right. Like that is a weird message.
yeah. It's like reverse bullying. It's like they got reverse psychology, and this one's like reverse bullying. So you're bullying the bullier, kind of thing. Yeah,
And then in the first one, the 80s version of it,
yeah,
he was like he was basically a spider, like a giant spider.
yeah. But he's mostly like the thing that that you're more afraid of, and I think at that time they were more afraid of spiders. Yeah. So like big ass spiders or something. I don't know. That's why I got him. But I liked it because of Curry. We call the actor. I liked it because of him. He brings it out like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was watching uh Hatchet. You ever seen that one or no?
Yeah.
So I found out something about Hatchet, and I saw all three movies. I was watching one, two, and three, and pretty much there's okay. I thought there was five iconic characters from the horror genre, but there's actually six. So that you have Freddy Krueger,
Mm.
Robert Englund that plays Freddy Krueger. He's in the movie. You have Kane Hodder who plays Jason, and now he plays Hatchet, and he's in the movie. Your
Cool.
buddy, your buddy Candyman, Tony Todd, is in the movie, and you got Danielle Harris from the Halloween movie, the little girl from Halloween 4 or 5 or something like that, and then she's like older, and she was in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had Zach Galligan from Gremlins, and then you had Sid Hike, House Hike, I guess. I can't pronounce the name, the last name, but he was in House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. He's he plays a clown that you don't like, you know. So you don't like
Yeah.
clowns. This is Captain Spaulding. He's a clown. So
Yeah.
and so now you get the sixth genre of characters. Yeah. And
That's good.
yeah, that was like great. I was watching. I was like, okay, cool. I was like really into it. Last night I was watching Zombieland, but um,
I think Zombieland's dope, man. Cardio,
no,
cardio, cardio. Make
yeah,
sure you hit that double tap.
yeah, because I'm gonna be doing a Zoom chat with on Second Watch. Those guys we call it like this Saturday coming up. So we're going to be talking about Zombieland or Zombieland 2. Basically, it's going to be Paul Murray. I mean, not Paul Murray. I'm sorry. Bill Murray Day. Basically, it's Bill Murray Day. Yeah, because you got Zombieland. Bill Murray was in it. Zombieland 2.
Hmm.
Bill Murray was in it. Ghostbusters 1, 2. Now probably the newer one that's coming out in November, and he's going to be in it probably.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Bill Murray is the man, though. He really is pretty dope.
and he was in Meatballs. You ever seen the movie Meatballs?
No.
Oh my god, it's classic. It's not a horror movie per se. It's like basically it's just a fun like 19 maybe early 80s movie where he's a camp counselor. Well, he's not a counselor, but he's like the head of the camp. And he's the guy that wakes up, gives you all the stuff on the PA. He's like, "Well, it's Tuesday. That means hang up your underwear the right way," like that kind of thing. Like say something stupid or whatever, and then he goes with the other camp counselor and talks to them, and then makes fun and does like jokes on everybody and everything else. But it's all about the kids like having fun and all that. But it's just like funny outtakes and everything. Yeah, plus the
That's
song.
awesome.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
I definitely gotta check that out.
Yeah, yeah.
I like watching movies. It's no wonder I didn't end up doing a film podcast, but there's a lot of film podcasts, so
Yeah,
I feel like I chose the right genre.
yeah, there you go. And plus you
Because
got
I
your
have the freedom to do whatever I want.
but then you could be able to like listen to we call your boys was it film you were talking about these guys too. We call it like a while back, you're like check out film what was the name of the podcast?
Oh, best film ever.
Yeah, that's it, best film ever. I still gotta listen to those guys.
Really? Oh my god, they're so good. You really do have to listen. They're so good.
I mean
They just
I've
they
been
yeah,
jumping
they
around.
just reviewed Steel Magnolias. They also just did see it what no clear for takeoff on a Spin City. Like they just put out so and they have a new Doctor Who segment which I'm all for. Who do you think you are? That's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like love it. It made my road trip go by. It was absolutely wonderful.
We were listening to because I got my girlfriend to listen to some podcasts that I was listening to, and I was listening to Campfire Classic.
Oh, they're good too.
Yeah, we call it. She was like listening. She goes, wow. She goes, I thought it was just like stories, and these guys are just going wacky. I'm like, yeah, that's what's cool. You know.
I love the baby party. That was so funny. The baby the dude got in a fight and the girl was like, how dare you? Oh, she's just a baby. Oh, they are so funny. They're
They're
so funny.
funny together. We go, that is just like hilarious. You know, I think I sent a not a promo because last night that was like my very first promo. I mean, very first. I never done a promo, and you whatever you have, that's like the very first one I ever done.
You didn't send it to me yet.
Yeah, I did.
I gotta check. Now I have
Yeah,
to check
because
again.
when you said you when you messaged me, you said here send it to me, and I did that day. So
Oh,
you can check
I'm gonna have to check my spam box.
check Tattoo Squid. Yeah, I got an email Tattoo Squid at Gmail. So check
Okay.
that one because the one that you got from this one, this is like my personal email. You probably haven't seen it from the Tattoo Squid podcast email.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I do want to run that. I want to run that promo for our season 3 openers.
yeah,
I've got a few openers for season 3. I got Coffee After Dark coming up. I got it goes down in the PM season 3 is coming up. I got quite a few season 3 openers. So.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah, is that your lady?
yeah,
Hi.
yeah. She just cutting through for uh bathroom breaks. So
Hey,
yeah,
you
no, we
gotta go. You gotta go, man.
no. I have to go. Yeah, we call it just like a few minutes and all that. And so and then you want to talk about drunk driving.
Yeah, so basically what's happening in California is we have a district attorney that is saying that he's doing uh criminal justice reform and he's not sending people to prison. Like
Okay.
there are people that are getting arrested and leaving the very next day. Violent offenders, he says, aren't
Mhm.
seeing or non-violent offenders are not seeing prison time. And he's touting it as this great criminal justice reform that's helping alleviate prison crowding, overpopulation, but and he's slinging this to people of color and heavily populated cities like this is something great that we should be supporting.
Yeah.
And to me, that is the greatest lie because it's the cities who are affected by this policy the most.
Mm.
These cities, it's so now these cities are being victimized by people who are not seeing jail time, particularly DUI victims. They say they're nonviolent people, drunk drivers are nonviolent offenders, but they're not thinking of the victims who they're affecting,
Yeah.
myself included. I was
Yeah.
hit by a drunk driver in 2019, November 11th, 2019, and I ended up in a rollator for 8 months. I had to relearn how to walk. I still struggle. I used to live a very active lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to love to surf. Oh, I have an old Instagram that I can't delete and I can't bear to look at. because every time I ran an extra mile on my bike, or I rode an extra mile, or I went somewhere new, I posted a picture of myself doing these things.
Yeah.
Every time I hit the waves, I'd post a picture, hitting the waves. I can't pick up my children.
Mm.
There are certain things I can't carry. Even now, because I'm less active, like there are some health ramifications.
Yeah.
Even though I'm walking more, I'm moving more, I'm trying
Yeah.
to get back to normal. It's not going to be normal for me. I have a spinal injury and I
Yeah.
have to live with that. And I got injections into, I believe, three of my spinal discs that made me gain weight, but also I was able to walk again. So I, even if I'm like 1,000 pounds heavier, if I can walk on my own, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I need that independence. But the health, the consequences of being of gaining weight as a result of the shots have other consequences to my health,
Yeah.
which I'm working on. I'm trying. It's just it's a really tough road. And when I went to court, the deputy the deputy DA, Jennifer McDonald, said this man probably will not see jail time,
Mm.
any type of jail time. He won't even get a felony on his record because they consider that a non-violent offense. And truth be told, it doesn't, it feels violent. I feel like I was violently rear-ended at 90 miles an hour
Mm.
and violently crashed into a wall. And then the recovery time was even worse. So there's no way that they can't consider this a non-violent crime.
Yeah.
This dude doesn't even have to show up to court because his lawyer filed a form that allows him to just be represented by the lawyer.
Hmm. People got money.
It's unbelievable, but I refuse to just take it lying down.
Yeah.
I have I have a petition on change.org, petitioning them to at least give this dude a felony on his record because he made the poor choice to drink, and his actions have affected my life and will continue to affect my life. He needs jail time.
Yeah.
That is that is a classic, by definition, felony DUI because it has what's considered a serious bodily injury. But because they in the court they're considering it a wobbler,
Mm.
you know, he's not going to see jail time, which I think is utter bullshit. So I pinned to my Twitter, and I have in my link tree, the link to change.org for you guys to sign it, show support, email the deputy DA, make the calls to the DA office and tell them that this is not okay.
Yeah.
But I just say we need to fight for the rights of the victims, because right now they're focused on protecting the criminals that are doing these things.
Yeah. So
Imagine they did a vote of no confidence against George Gaskin, and every single California city except for one voted no confidence on George Gaskin.
hmm. Well, hopefully these guys, like everybody listening, we'll go and myself included, we'll go to your link tree, go and check out all the stuff and click on it, do the petition, and making sure that this doesn't happen ever again. Yeah,
Yeah, because
you know, because
and
they're going for a lot of shit. So yeah,
if you want to know how does this affect you, well, a drunk driver that's over the age of 30 that gets caught drunk driving, like this dude knew how to stall to try and get his blood alcohol level lower. He told them he'll give blood. They get him to the facility. He's like, no, take me to the hospital. So they had to drive him over to the hospital before they could get his blood. 4 hours later, he was still over the legal limit,
yeah.
which tells you how much he had to drink when he hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And he's over the age of 30. He knew how to game the system. This dude gets off with no prison time and is in the streets. I would bet my life that this dude will do it again.
They always do. There's somebody who's gonna be out there to, being under the system as it is. There's always ways of finding underneath the cracks of the system. But like I said, I'm not political about it, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people, including yourself, that got hit by drunk drivers, or some people that are drunk drivers and they don't even know it. But it is what it is, and
Yeah.
not is what it is. I'm not going to say that, but but at least you're here with us talking to me,
Mhm.
and then we can get this out
You
there.
know, even if my guy walks the street, I'm not, this is something that I intend to continue to fight for because the victims need to be heard.
Yeah.
Katie Palmer, she didn't make it. Her
Mm.
drunk driver killed her, and he is still out in the streets driving drunk everywhere.
Yeah.
So, there are millions of us, and it's unfortunate.
Well, the voiceless will be heard. Will be heard, and by hook or by crook, they will be
Yeah.
heard. So, but
One way, if once I get enough support for the petition,
yeah.
then I'm gonna start to organize a peaceful protest at the courthouse. Um, what I'm doing is I'm looking to see how many people are killed by repeat offenders, and then by repeat offenders, and I'm going to blow up a balloon for every single person that has been killed by a repeat offender in
Mhm.
2020 or 2019. And I'm going to fill up the courthouse with balloons representing one for every person,
Yeah.
just so they can see how serious it is that they need to start putting these guys in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully we get that rectified, and hopefully you have a good turnout, and um but as it is, anything else going on with it goes down in the PM, anything new, anything
Oh,
I
it goes down in the PM is now moving. Season 3 is coming. We will not only be putting out our stuff on the platforms, we are also going to be live.
All right, there we go.
We're going to be live, we're going to be recording, and then you're going to be able to catch it on the platform too if you miss the live. And videos, you're going to see this face.
And I see it, I see more of it when I look on the videos. Yeah.
Yep.
And you see
Yep.
the face right here. Hello.
Yep. Yep. Be like,
With the salt and pepper looking, what's the thing over here, I'm talking about
oh God,
myself.
I look so rough. I haven't been able to see a hairdresser in so long, like you see. So I got my roots are showing. It's terrible.
Yeah. Hey, at least you got hair. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but season 3 of It Goes Down in the PM is coming. Make sure you're all caught up. You can catch up my back catalog and all that. And we're gonna be deep diving into some stuff, man.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna be on the season 3 premiere. I'm gonna be telling a spooky story. I'm gonna tell a
Nice.
spooky story of a spooky true story of who what dead person came to visit me and how I found out who they were.
We're gonna have to wait and see about that one because
Yes.
we're not gonna leak it out on this one yet.
Yep. Yep. Ghost stories go down in the PM too.
Yeah, there you go. See, look, there's a segue. There's a segue, people. You know, it goes down to PM for the move. But so tell everybody where they can find you. I know they're gonna find you everywhere, but let's put this out there. Where they're gonna find you.
All right, you can find me on Linktree / it goes down in the PM. You can also find my network on Linktree / Mom is Always Right. That's WRITE Media. And you listen and follow the podcast. You could also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you can get those links on the Linktree as well.
Yeah.
And if you follow the podcast, you'll get the announcement of when we will be going live.
Yeah, I gotta try to do that. I want to get all my shit situated first before I try to do anything live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Roadcaster makes things a lot easier.
Yeah. I actually have an idea of doing something. There is a you ever heard or have you ever seen the YouTube show The Valley Folk?
No.
Well, basically they do a thing where they sit on the couch and they talk about different stuff, but they do a little segment of funny quirks, some games or whatever. So the one guy has a game and it's called movie game. So basically he gives a synopsis of a movie. Like say the title of it would be like a horror movie, which you love, like I love too. And so do a synapse of one horror movie, and then there's gonna be another synapse of a different movie of his choice, but they're gonna be on cards. And then you have to figure out the movie of the horror and the movie of the regular movie, but you have to put them together.
Oh, that's cool.
Like I'll give you a for instance. Like they'll say like, oh, child grows up to have a hockey mask and goes on a killing spree, but is also going from a young age to an older age really quick. And then you have to figure out what the first movie would be.
That'd
So
be Friday the 13th.
exactly. And then you got the other thing where it's somebody that's going to go from a younger age to an older age really quick.
13 going on 30.
Exactly. But then you go with Friday the 13th on 30. So you combined it all together. Friday the 13th going on 30.
Oh, okay. I see.
You know what I mean? So then
Yeah.
you have to figure out the like. I'm not saying horror. That's one of the things. So it could be science fiction. It could be drama, whatever. It could be a mixture of anything. It could be anime.
Yeah.
And then you figure out what it is, and then that's what I want to try to do when I get the game. I want to try to do that with more Zoom chats and do a game with said person and see how well they do.
That's cool. That
Something
is
like
real
that.
cool.
It's like because I've seen how they do it. They do it with like they'll grab one person, do a half hour, then they'll grab another person, do a half hour, and then they do all this editing stuff, and you'll see like a whole montage thing. But I'm not good at editing, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do one person on each Zoom, and that's it. And then we'll see how it goes. It's like a little fun thing, and especially for the people that are.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would be down for a game like that.
Yeah, we test it out. I'll try it. Even like game for a movie. Like those guys, I want to try it on them. And some of the people that
I feel like I'd get washed by Mike from Game for a Movie, or Rebecca from Thrice Curse.
yeah, because like, and on second watch we call it, I got and shoot the flick. I gotta try to get those guys, but also, and this is, you don't know about this one, that with this Zoom chat that I'm doing for each person for the second season, like 100 episodes. The 100th episode is I'm going to have to try and get everybody that I did Zoom chats with in one sitting.
Oh wow!
I'm going to try to do that because I told my girlfriend this, and she's like, "How are you going to moderate that? It's going to be 100 episodes with the amount of people that you're going to be doing Zoom chats with." I'm like, "Hey, we're talking about Twitter family, the podcast family. Might as well have
That
a family outing, you know."
that's gonna be tough. You have a good internet service, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much good, a decent thing. So it's we'll see how it goes. That's what
That
I'm thinking. I want to try to do.
that would be super cool, honestly.
But it all depends on the people on the other side of the Zoom chats if they really want to go and do that whole cluster. Yeah. So
I I'd be down for the cause.
yeah, no problem. And honestly, I don't think that has ever happened. People have been doing it on Twitter Spaces where they talk to a whole bunch of people. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I haven't done Twitter Spaces because I'm stubborn. One, two, I am having a hard time figuring out how it works.
yeah, same here. Yeah, we're in the same boat there. Jolie. Because I tried doing it like one time. I'm like, I sent like the what the hell is it? Like pretty much like putting it out there, like, oh, this is what this day is going to be, and then I want this person,
I
and
mean,
that's
think about, I have like 3,500 followers on Twitter,
yeah,
and I still can't figure out how to work Twitter Spaces.
yeah. Oh, believe me, we could. I mean, there's other people that have done it, and like Pixie from Next on Stage One, she's doing it. She's killing it on that one. Yeah, and then and also Sounds Creepy podcast, which hers I think is coming out October, I think, or something.
I'm gonna be on a Torch the Poets show
Okay.
tomorrow at 10. So
Oh, nice.
yep, I'm talking about marketing the podcast, like how to improve your podcast. Um, I think he invited me on there for my media
Yeah.
expertise. Oh, I almost forgot. Season 3 opener will be announcing the newest member of the Mama's Always Right Media Network,
Oh,
the
nice.
newest podcast to be added to the network.
Ah, it's a clincher.
Yep, you guys gotta tune in.
Yeah.
You gotta tune in.
And also, I need to find out about that DJ thing that we were just mentioning about before. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So send me a message or like the info stuff, or
yeah.
email me like the info stuff, and see what's what.
Okay.
So all right, so
Right now, the hitch is me trying to get the BMI licensing and the ASCAP licensing,
yeah,
so that we can play actual music as well as the unsigned music.
yeah, yeah. We'll see how it goes and all. So right now we're gonna be heading out. Thank you, Jolene.
Yay!
So we reiterated about where we're gonna find Jolene, and it goes down to PM. You can find me also on Twitter at podcast Tattoo Squid. Then you go to Instagram Tattoo Squid dot podcast, and then YouTube is Tattoo Squid podcast. I got twitch.tv / Tattoo Squid podcast. So I need followers on that son of a bitch right there. And where else am I? Well, I'm whatever. You'll find me. I'm like a rash. I pop up anywhere. So and I'm not saying I'm annoying, but hey, but and also give me feedback. Give me the feedback of this, like when you hear this podcast or any other podcast, give me a review and and also give it goes down to PM a review as well.
Yeah, I mean, catch up before our season 3 opener, and drop me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Cool thing about Podchaser is that you can review it episode by episode if you've already reviewed the podcast as a whole, and drop my boy Tattoo Squid
Yeah.
a review as well.
Yeah, I love Podchaser because of, like, I think it was like last month they did. If you do a review, they donate to Meals on Wheels.
Yes,
I think that was last month or the month before.
and then if you respond to the review, they'll
Yeah,
donate as well.
yeah. We call it, so that was cool. That's a cool thing and everything else. And sponsors come talk to me. And talk to it goes down in PM as well. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and my branding is for everyone. I fight for DUI victims' rights. I fight for autism awareness, mental health awareness, veterans mental health advocate, and as always, women's empowerment. So hit me up.
And
I will sell, and I'm the media maven. I will sell the shit out of your products.
and I'm fighting for every squid that's in the water. Yeah. My brethren.
Clean up the oceans. Ocean.
No, don't do that. Not yet. We're still trying to roam around and see what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, use less plastic. Make the ocean safe for all the squids out there.
Yeah. Especially this squid that likes to drink coffee. Yeah. And maybe 7-Eleven can sponsor me. I don't know. See what happens. But
Yeah, someone. I think
coffee.
I think Monster should sponsor me, because every time I film anything, you always see me with a Monster.
Yeah.
Every time, like I filmed a John Venture, going east with Mama G, all our video stuff is always has me drinking a Monster on the
Yeah.
go.
But
So
I've been trying to get uh who was it? I started doing I wanted to get Nintendo Switch to sponsor me. Bones Coffee, Duck Donuts. I was trying like everything, and I'm like, hey, how about 7-Eleven? Let's put that on the chopping block. Yeah, I mean, because I seen Hops News, they're trying to get Dunkin' Donuts.
oh yeah, he's even got the Dunkin' Donuts pajamas.
Yeah, no, he has
I
a
thought
suit.
that
No, he has a suit.
he's got a Dunkin' Donuts suit too.
Yeah, he has a suit and a tie and everything else, and it's a Dunkin' Donuts all the way straight down. And
That's
then I
awesome.
found out he had socks of Dunkin' Donuts and Crocs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta see. I'm not one for Crocs, but I'll rock the Crocs. Yeah, I'll try to rock them.
Rock out with your Crocs out.
There's a syllable in there that should be in there, no problem. one one letter at a time.
Yep.
But thank you, Jolene, for being on the show.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
I know we had our little hiccups on we call it, setup and everything else, and I'm glad we got through. And
No, I'll own that. That's my fault. I should have known, but the thing is, I guess I don't know. The time must have messed me up or something. But for whatever reason, my alarm had it set to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh no, I wasn't even like talking about that. That was like, it is what it is. It's like, you had to get bypassed from like a tornado,
Yes.
So I'm like, I want to make sure that you're safe and sitting there and relaxed and drinking a monster and not going like rushing to do this. You don't need to rush, so
Yeah. I remember the one time I couldn't find a monster. I was I was guessing on the jury room with Kevin, right? And I couldn't find a monster. I was like, you know what? It's cool. So I got a big wine glass and filled it up with wine. I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do this.
I know I got if I try to do anything, I need some coffee. I need like, even though it's decaf, but still it's coffee to me.
You need caffeine. Everybody
Man,
needs
I told you,
caffeine
remember?
to function.
Yeah, remember the heart thingy I told you about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta do decaf. If I do caffeine, I'm not gonna be able to get tattooed.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm like, I got some ideas I need to get done, and once I get my
Yeah.
ideas out of the way, then
Yeah,
maybe.
I got this. This guy.
Oh,
I
she's
gotta get
coming
this one.
done.
I gotta get this one finished. See.
Yeah, there you go.
You see?
Yep.
That's a Philippine eagle. I needed to get it finished because right here I'm trying to get the Philippine flag, and then I want to get the tribals from from my tribe. I want to get a tribal all the way down.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm trying to get a squid and on my back and all that, and put my brand on my neck probably, and
yeah.
so and my
A lot of people they get tribals and have no idea what they mean. But
oh
to
yeah,
people who have roots in that tribe and like the tribe, it's everything.
yeah, because you got Samoa, they do the same thing. It's like everything means a certain way. I mean, my tattooers, everybody's like asking to get tribal. He goes, no, you don't want to do a tribal because he could do tribal with his hand, one hand tied behind his back. It's so easy. He wants to get challenged. So that's
Yeah,
what his thing was. It wasn't because he doesn't like it. It's just that
yeah,
he can do it so quickly that he wants something to challenge, like a big picture that he can do and be like challenged on. You know,
yeah.
that's we call it the word of the day, challenge. we
Challenge.
are we are sponsored by challenge. You know,
Yeah. Today's episode is sponsored by the letters C and H and
that's
sponsored by the word challenge.
challenge yourself to do something different. And I'm gonna challenge myself to go and have some dinner before I go to sleep.
Yeah, yeah, you better get going before your girlfriend murders you.
Yeah. Wait, you know her? Okay. All right, Jolene. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right.
Good talk.
All right.